the other thing I wanted to mention was training method versus fighting application. This same thing with this hinge thing here, okay? This hinge bump. So we've already covered the fact that there is absolutely no force on force when that is done correctly, because it's a glancing blow. From an application point of view, from a genuine technique point of view, obviously, look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Anyone who knows anything about martial arts is going to look at this and think, oh, okay, it's not a technique, it's a waist training drill or something. It's just a little exercise. It's like sometimes someone saying that that's not going to work in a fight would be kind of like me looking at a boxer. Okay, a boxer, say, doing this kind of thing, right? On the heavy bag, he's punching. But then he starts working the speed ball. He sometimes punches like this on the speed ball, but what else does he do? That would be like me looking at a boxer saying, that's rubbish, that wouldn't work in a fight. Of course it wouldn't work in a fight. That's not its purpose. It's a timing drill. This is a timing, coordination, waist training action. It's not meant to be a fighting technique. However, with things like this, you can look at them and say, okay, what would we have to do? How would it work in a fighting scenario? Take it away from the training exercise of just learning how to connect to the center. That's just a very simple training exercise. Where's the biggest problem in this technique? Can anyone tell me from a technique point of view, where's the biggest problem here? What's the most likely thing that wouldn't happen in a real fight?
The guy will not let his arm there.
Exactly. The guy will not let his arm there. Either he's got tension, in which case if I try to load this, it's going to push me over. So in which case I wouldn't want to do that technique. Like I said then, if I felt tension from your arm pushing outward, well, I'd have to yield to it and do something else. Or he's loose, boom, and it goes away. Yeah, let's say you're doing a jab, yeah? Well, hang on. Give me your arm. How fast would you have to be? There's no way, because my body has to turn one way, but as I load, he's loaded. There's no way in hell that I'm going to be able to pull off that movement. Even if you don't pull it back, but you just kind of swing through, it's probably going to end up somewhere over there. In which case it's still like, I've got to chase it the other way. So in what scenario will his arm be as it is in the training exercise? Okay, I'll do it to you. I'm just that first step. Bump, bang. And then he's set up for the next move. All right, what about this? Bump, wah. Maybe I came back with a back fist. Maybe I got a knife in my hand. Wah. You see? Pen is mightier than the sword. Okay. What? He's bumped me out of the way. Lovely knifing technique. What? That. Boom. Coming that way. Sure, I can slash across, but that's quite easy to block anything, you see, because the knife's, it's got to get quite close. Whereas this, if you get it in, it's aiming at you, it's likely to get out enough. It can, maybe it's a longer knife. It's a lovely little technique from a knifing point of view. So maybe I've lunged towards your face. I'm just going to do this slowly because I don't want to jab you in the eye with this pen. But bump and whack. You see? Now he's already learnt the body mechanics in a simple scenario rather than complicating things and saying, I've got to do this, then I've got to do this, then I've got to do... It's too complicated for a beginner. They just want to learn a simple little technique to learn how to move from the center. Later, of course, we can start going. I'll just take that out of my hand now so you don't get poked in the eye. But yeah, you can go, boom, whack. See? Boom, whack. And that's all. See, even if you get them right in the bicep, that's bloody horrible. So you can see there now, he's using the exact same body mechanics as what he's learned from this very simple little exercise as a beginner would learn. But now, bang, now I could do one of two things. I could either do this, in which case, of course, you'd do that. But if I've got a knife in my hand, I'm more likely to come back with the same hand because that's the one with the knife in it, you see? So that's where And that's where that will work beautifully, straight down in there. And now look where I am. Not even, well, you could either start with that, or this is again taking away from the drill of the hammer, but just if you end up in that position, you got that one. Beautiful. And I'm for that one. So I just wanted to make that point that training exercises are not meant to be seen as someone's going to attack me in the street and I'm going to go bang, 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 bang and do it like it's done in the drill. It's an exercise to learn how to move from the center, how to shift the weight, whatever the drill is supposed to be teaching you. You've got to come out of the drill and say, okay, how do we apply that to a real situation? And that's one example of how you would apply that to a real situation. Okay, so keep those things in mind with all the techniques that you're practicing. Good stuff.